Alright, let's be honest here. We all have that one auntie or uncle that we rarely meet. But every time we meet them, they always have something to say about how we gain weight. Anyway, Imperfect is a 2019 Indonesian rom-com directed by Ernest Perkasa. Now, I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I gave this movie a 5 out of 10. Stop writing down in the comments. I know what you're gonna say, but please hear me out. Because here's why. First of all, spoiler alert, welcome to the channel. I'm going to be talking about this movie. It may or may not contain some spoilery details, so you've been warned. And I do recommend that you go watch this movie before you watch this video, because these are all my own opinions, so this video shouldn't reflect on how you watch this movie. So Imperfect is about this girl Rara who is born fat and with a dark complexion. And this entire movie is basically her trying to learn to love herself, especially since she grew up being ridiculed by her own family for being fat and with a dark complexion. And also the fact that she's working for a beauty brand where she's surrounded by these pretty girls with white skin. It doesn't really help her, even though her boyfriend Dika fully loves her for who she is. But then she gets offered a promotion, but in exchange for that promotion, she has to lose weight and change herself. And this is basically her identity crisis, really. And I think the message of this movie was fantastic. It's about body shaming and how everyone should be comfortable in their own skin. They should love themselves for who they are. You know, everyone is different in their own way. It doesn't matter if you're dark skin, light skin, fat, skinny, all that doesn't matter as long as you're healthy and happy. And I think that kind of message is what we really need in this day and age, especially with TikTok and all that. And I love Jessica Miller's performance as Rara. I think she did great. Okay, look, any movie with any actor having to go through body change immediately gets bonus points from me. And you know, honestly, I think Dika was the most compelling character in this entire film because he had the most to lose. He had to deal with gangsters, he had to deal with financial issues, and then he has to deal with his girlfriend's insecurity, even though he loves her for who she is. Also, are we gonna talk about the fact that Reza Rahadian is like in basically all Indonesian movies? Just a thought. And yeah, I did have a lot of problems with this movie. So this is a comedy. It's a romantic comedy. So we're meant to have comedic bits in it. But some of the comedic bits did not land. When it landed, it was great. But when it didn't, it was cringy. So most of the comedic element was on the anakos. But oh my god, I don't know about you guys, but they annoy me so much. Like, they can be funny at times, but most of the time they're just super cringy. And you know what annoys me most about these characters was that they were just very empty characters. They had no role to play in this film except for one, the comedic element, and two, being the poster child for the very end of the movie. Yeah, it just really annoyed me because this entire story could have done better without them, honestly. And when we get into the office, why do we see the plot of Mean Girls playing out? Why are there three mean girls who suddenly bullies Rara? I think these girls were very unnecessary. I honestly think a simple call to HR for harassment could have solved a lot of issues in that office. And also, I feel like everything that's going on in Rara's home was more compelling than anything outside of her house. The relationship between Rara and her family, I think, was so interesting because her relationship with her mother was very opposed. They oppose each other, and we get this ending where they learn to love each other, they accept each other, but it was so sudden. I just felt like there wasn't enough of that. I feel like if we focused on that, it would have been such a great film. And that's another thing that annoys me about this film is that the message was great. It had so much potential, but because of the overcrowding of characters and all these empty characters and useless characters just to really antagonize our protagonist, it ends up being And I feel like this movie would have done so much better if this film was just focused on Rara and her relationship between her boyfriend, her family, and her best friend, and how her insecurity is just destroying all these relationships. I feel like that would have been so much better. Like, I understand what they're going for. They're putting so many characters in this so that Rara feels very overwhelmed. But again, it just feels like the character arcs were very incomplete. They introduced these characters, but there was no complete arcs. And look, I understand too that a lot of Indonesian audiences aren't very fond of movies that make you think. They want a lighthearted, entertaining movie where they can just shut off. And we do have a lot of movies like that. We have Edgar Wright movies, we have Steven Spielberg movies, we have Taika Waititi's movies. Entertaining movies, fun movies, but still very compelling characters. So yeah, those are my thoughts on this movie. What do you guys think? Did you agree with what I said? Did you enjoy this movie? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you want to see more videos like these, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers!